Ever since I was a kid, I always remember using two monitors. One for my games and one for having Discord open. But just recently I've realized that maybe I don't need two monitors and maybe that it's hurting my productivity. Today I'm going to tell you why I decided to remove one of my monitors and how it has helped me increase my productivity. If you're someone that's struggling with productivity or cannot focus, then you should definitely check out this video. A little bit of background is important to know why I decided to do this and what I had before it. Ever since I got my first PC, I decided that I needed a second monitor. Why? The thing that I did most on my PC is that I used it to game. And when you're gaming, you need a second monitor to see your Discord. I was also fascinated by streaming, so I needed my second monitor to show my chat and my recording software. The problem is that in the time since I've grown up, I have not really streamed or used Discord that much anymore. So the only thing that this second monitor was good at was distracting me. I've been creating content for like 2 months now and I've been doing some productive work ever since last year, and I noticed the fact that having my second monitor there kind of stopped me from working. Like I would have YouTube open on my second monitor and it would just distract me from doing whatever I was doing, which is a big problem, especially if you're doing something like content creation. Also recently I built up another office and I needed a monitor for that. So because of this change I decided to take my monitor from here and move it to my office. I can think of a reason why you may not want to remove your second monitor, and that probably is that it helps you multitask if you're actually good at it. Like if you have a second monitor where you have all of your files open, then you do not have to waste time alt tabbing and finding the tab that you need to find. So that's something I've been confronting a lot and I'm thinking about getting back my second monitor. However, there is a little bit of a story that I have to tell you. So after I moved my monitor there, I set up my office and stuff, and one night while I was trying to sleep, I heard my cat knock something over on my office desk. And I went over to check what happened. And as I got there, the lights were closed and I tried to turn them on, like when I turned them on, the cable that was hanging from the charging port to the monitor made me hit it, and I accidentally kind of pushed the monitor forward and it fell down. And I didn't notice then because without turning on the monitor, it actually looked fine. But when I put it back on and tested it recently because I needed to open up my PC, I noticed that it had a huge crack on the display, which wasn't really visible, but I did notice it then. So yeah, I can't really use that monitor anymore and I do not have any more spares. I did however order one that should arrive later this week. This change has actually kind of impacted me and helped me increase my productivity because now I can't really get distracted because I can only do one single task at a time. I tend to also close all of the other apps that I don't need, which I usually didn't do before, which kind of helped me actually focus on the task. Now I only keep DaVinci Resolve open and maybe Discord, but I also usually close it, and I can focus on video editing, and when I need to pull in files I just alt tab quickly and get my files, and I kind of like skip the part where I would have to close YouTube or whatever I was having on my second monitor and move to the file system, which is great for productivity. It was kind of hard adapting to one monitor after having like 5 years of use of second monitors because I was used to like looking to my left, and that was a huge problem since there was just nothing there anymore. But with time, after like 3 days, I did finally start building a habit of not looking left anymore for my monitor and just alt tabbing. This is also interesting because it helped me learn more shortcuts because now I needed to be very efficient, whereas before I didn't need to because I had my second monitor which basically had everything that I needed for it. Now I don't know if my experience applies to you all, but this change has actually impacted my life quite a lot and I am able to produce a lot more videos now. So it has definitely helped me. One limitation which I have noted is the fact that now when I game, which is pretty rare, but however when I game, it's pretty annoying to alt tab out of the game just so I can check Discord, and it can actually hinder my performance at times when someone decides to message me in the middle of the game and I can't really access my messaging app very fast. However, if you're not a gamer and you just use your PC as a workstation, that should not really influence you that much. If I would be someone that would mostly use their PC for gaming, then I would definitely consider having a second or even third monitor, because some people might be streaming or I don't know, need a lot more multitasking. However, if you're someone that just focused on productivity, then I don't believe that you necessarily need the second monitor. You can do just fine with only one. And I would suggest getting the best one you can for your primary monitor, since you will want the best experience, of course. In conclusion, if you're someone that mostly uses their PC for gaming, or you are someone that does content creation as in streaming or playing games, then you should definitely consider having a second monitor so you can manage your chat and your recording software. However, if you're someone that uses their PC mostly as a workstation like I am, then a second monitor won't necessarily help. It just depends on how good you are at multitasking or at managing your time. If you're bad at focusing and you get distracted easily, then you should definitely screw the second monitor since it will do more bad than good to you. I hope you liked today's short video since there's nothing really much to talk about. However, I wanted to share my experience to you all so you can decide if you really need to get a second monitor or if you should just stick to one that you already have. Have a good day.